Hello, and welcome to another video from Sustenance and Covering, the only YouTube channel you need to not only survive, but actually enjoy the current apocalypse. And today I'm going to share with you a little bit of my acquired wisdom about chickens. Over the years I've had many chickens, and I do believe chickens can be a very useful survival tool. However, chickens, live chickens, are not like canned food or freeze-dried food. You can't simply find a place to hide them and put them there until you need them. These chickens are going to be in your face, and more importantly in your neighbor's face, from the minute you bring them home. And they require infrastructure. You can't simply bring chickens home and keep them in your house. They're too nasty. Can't put them in your yard because it would only take a day or two for nighttime predators to just totally wipe them out. You've got to have a substantial structure to protect your chickens from nighttime predators. Daytime predators, not that much of a problem. Over all these years I've had chickens, the only real problem I've had with daytime predation is dogs, neighborhood dogs. So anyways, all this has to be in place. There may be laws in place to keep you from doing this. And if your neighbors get upset and call the police can come take your chickens away. I know where I live is inside city limits. The municipality has got ordinances against farm animals. I am way over the limit here. However, about 3 houses down that way I hear roosters crowing, and 3 or 4 houses that way I hear roosters crowing, so I feel like they're not going to complain. The neighbors that are immediately around me, I don't think they're going to complain either, because I'll load them up with eggs and chicken meat. And that's what you'll have to do too, probably. Now, the 2 things you get from chickens are eggs and meat. And what you have to give them to get eggs and meat is nothing. Chickens can go out and forage all day. They can eat seeds, worms, crickets, frogs, and convert that into useful eggs and meat. Now, it won't produce as much as it would produce if you were feeding it corn, but a chicken can continue to live and be healthy and produce without commercially purchased feeds. Now, there's the 2 things that you can get. Some people say, well, I just want the meat. I'm not interested in eggs. I don't know, in a survival situation, it seems like you'd be interested in everything, but the only reason a person would want chickens over wild game is they say they can't eat the wild game because it just tastes too gamey. I have never understood what that means. Wild things taste stronger than things that are raised in a cage. But that's not just because they're wild. A chicken that's raised by Walmart goes to market in 6 weeks. Those chickens you get at Walmart, that big, that's a 6-week-old chicken. At 6 weeks, my chickens are this big. So what's the deal? Well, those chickens are put into a box with a tube in front of them to pump food and water into them, and a tube in the back to take the waste out. They never move their legs, they never move their wings, and in 6 weeks they're ready for market. Your chickens are not going to be big enough to eat until they've been around for about 6 months. And at 6 months, they're just as gamey as a raccoon or a possum or a squirrel. So if you're looking to raise chickens solely for the meat, it might be best for you to get some traps. You can trap your whole neighborhood. If you've got a neighborhood with 100 people in it, you can believe the rest of them ain't interested in traps. So even though your little yard may only be 50 by 100 feet, you're actually trapping the game for several acres. Now, you may also say the only reason you would keep chickens is for the eggs, that you're a vegetarian, you would never eat meat, or that you just don't have the stomach for killing things. Right now that might work, because you can order 100 hens from any online catalog, and that's what you'll get. And the hens will just lay eggs. They don't need a rooster. Although you probably will get a rooster, because the people that sex those chickens are going so fast that they make mistakes. But when the end of the world comes, you won't be able to do that no more. And your hens are going to run out in about 2 years. You know, they might lay eggs for 7 years, but for the first 2 years you're going to be getting regular eggs. After that, it's going to be very intermittent, very few. So you have to replace your flock, which means there's going to have to be some breeding. and you're going to have chickens laying eggs and sitting on them. When those eggs hatch, it's going to be 50% hens and 50% roosters. And this is extremely unhealthy. When they get to breeding age, the roosters will tear the hens up, maybe even kill them. I've never let mine get far enough to find out, but I know that once a rooster gets about 2 years old, he's got a spur on him about that long, and the big rooster will kill as many of your new roosters as he can, because he doesn't want them around. So if they're going to get killed anyway, it's best that you kill them and eat them. In fact, something to think about is if you order 100 hens because you don't want anything to be killed, what do you think is going to happen to their 100 brothers? They're going to be put in one of those cages, and with a tube in the front and a tube in the back, and have a very, very horrible existence, which will conclude with a horrific death. So those are the only things that you really need to think about with chickens: the stealth of it, what your plans are for it, and whether or not just trapping wild game may be a better option for you.